Nearly 5 years since the release of Travis Scott's Astroworld is the long-awaited 4th studio album, Utopia. Now, 2018 may not sound as far as it is, but half a decade between studio albums does set expectations for your new project higher and higher, especially when coming off Astroworld's commercial success, with it being the album that pushed his stardom to new heights, with songs like Stargazing, Butterfly Effect, and who could forget Sicko Mode featuring the one and only Drake. Which pretty much landed it to become the song of the year. Now, 5 years after that explosive rage-infused success comes Utopia, having a far more quiet rollout than its predecessor. Even then, the head single that came out just a few weeks ago didn't really break any ground to push some eyes on the album. Let's just say K-pop was boring and phoned in. Not a good look as a sneak peek at your upcoming project. But thankfully, that was the glaring low point of the entirety of it. Utopia sets its home base in a very strange place in his discography. It still very much sounds like a Travis Scott album, but through a different lens. Most well known for his bombastic energy, this feels very stripped back in a way that I wouldn't really expect from him. It feels like a deconstruction of his voice and his brand. It's ominous, atmospheric, dare I say minimalistic. It's both very clean yet dirty with its instrumentals. And the overall production of this project is just pristine. It's very consistent with the kind of theme it's going for. But at the same time, there are some drawbacks with its said theme. Like in terms of the energy he reaches with Astroworld, there's no question that this is much more toned down but more focused at the same time. And in terms of a first time listen, with it being a drastic change, it's not as welcoming as something like Rodeo or Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. It very much reminds me of what Kanye's Yeezus was going for, and I'm definitely not the only one that's gonna bring that up. Throughout the album, it just sounds like the next logical step from it, so much so that it kinda sounds a bit too much like it at times. An example would be Everything About Circus Maximus, which just sounds like his version of Black Skinhead. Or how Modern Sounds has him delivering lyrics like Kanye. And I'm not gonna lie, it just feels like he's borderline biting it off from him. But that's not to say that he just constantly rips throughout the whole project, because there are some very great innovative tracks from him, including the album's dynamite opener with Hyena. I'm driving through hell and I done brought snow. It's shining in here and I done brought gold. My Eyes. Tell me your tale, do you see the road? I'm out to my soul. Tell me the size whenever the smoke clear out of my face and my picture perfect. Do I look fried? Sirens. I was too damn determined. Rap game needed refurbish. I was up top with no service. Watches and are playing verses. They in the bushes, they learn. And Love. I get it, love. They love me long time. I get it, love. They love me long time. To supplement this experimentation are familiar sounding tracks that complement very well with the overall vibe of the project, including Thank God, TOPIA Twins, and of course, Meltdown, featuring Drake. Like I got a cup of this shit. T-time like golf at 5:45. I love to fuck on a regular bitch. Famous hoes lame, but they... The album is obviously also very star-studded, adding Beyonce, Future, SZA, 21 Savage, The Weeknd, and much more to the list. But with as well produced and focused as it is, there are a number of tracks that I felt could have gotten cut, including one I mentioned earlier with K-pop. You full off one sip, falling off it, I got grip. All around the trap it hit, all around the back. But adding to that list, I would honestly put I Know, God's Country, Lost Forever, and the first half of Schizo. Not saying they're terrible per se, they're just not that special, and it just creates an unnecessary bloat. But after going through the slog that is those last few songs in the back half of the album, it ends on a very high note with the last two tracks. Don't get me wrong, Till Further Notice is a perfectly fine closer, I'd even say it's pretty good. But my god, Telekinesis is on a whole different level. The previously leaked Kanye West reference track titled Future Sounds receives a different spin on it, still reminiscing the same sci-fi vibe it's going for with its triumphant instruments in the background to support it. But throw in Future in the track, it just sounds right. I could've took the pain and I could've went outside. Street stepped and raised me, but I ain't have my daddy. Niggas tryna clone me. as well as SZA stealing the show towards the end of the track, it's just angelic, and it would have served as the perfect note to end on. Overall, I really liked the direction and the vibe he went for. Even at times, he sounds like he's biting off his contemporaries. It's a leap for his music and his voice, and I very much appreciate him trying to reinvent what a Travis Scott project sounds like. I'm feeling a light 4 out of 5 stars on this. What are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.